ArenaNet did it. They finally did it. They buffed Elementalist along with other classes to bring them in line with the current meta. And bonus, Firebrand and Mechanist received some small nerfs. It looks like the focus for this patch is to bring power DPS builds to a competitive level with the current PvE meta. Of course they posted the preview patch notes when I was traveling with no access to my laptop. Sorry, rant over because the patch is huge. Let's start from the beginning. Of course this will be the short version, but I will put the link to the full patch notes in the description. Just a side note, the balance patch is focused almost entirely on PvE. If something is affected in multiple game modes, I will call it out. Elementalist received some buffs to the staff and dagger weapons across all elements. Weaver received the same treatment with buffs across the board to sword, and lastly Tempest with improvements to shouts and an almost double damage increase to Transcendent Tempest trait. We also have one paragraph in the beginning where they want to make Aegis and stability available to Tempest and Druid. Next we have Engineer with some adjustments to underwater weapons. Sorry, I meant weapon. Engineers have just one underwater option, and if you are a Mechanist underwater, you are Mechanless. Now we have the nerfs, starting with the medkit and elixir gun, which affect the healing builds for all elite specs, and we also have nerfs directly to healing mechanist. This was done to bring it in line with other healing specs. We also have buffs for engineer, specifically for power scrapper and power holosmith. Throw-mine was also improved in all game modes. Guardian received some buffs to hammer, a weapon long dead which is very surprising but very welcome too in my opinion. It also received some buffs to Greatsword and Staff to bring Dragon Hunter back in line. Speaking about that line, we have nerfs to the stability mantra of Firebrand, but it should still be fine as a healing option. Mesmer drew the short stick again, and it received some nerfs, specifically Mirage. The nerfs were targeted at the staff and axe weapons, as ArenaNet felt it did more damage than it was supposed to. Which is true to a point, but that low duration on Alacrity sucks, and this is why I abandoned my Alacrity Mirage. I think if they increased the Alacrity duration in addition to the nerfs, it would be better, but now I'm pretty sure we won't see many Alac Mirages in the wild. Now we're back to buffs with Necro. This class received buffs to Dagger on main hand and off hand, Focus and Staff. Reaper received some buffs too to Greatsword, Shouts and Reaper Shroud, which is great and we should see some Beyblade Reapers back in the wild. Ranger receives a second round of long-awaited buffs. This round is for pets and healing, so it can compete with Heal Firebrand and Heal Alac Mechanist. They finally add stability to Druid. They also said something about Aegis, but did not mention specifically where it will be added. And now, moving on to pets, they will be buffed too, with a 17.8 critical hit chance increase across the board, multiple bug fixes for End of Dragons pets, and a nerf to Iboga, which will become the main character in the song, someone that I used to know. But hopefully the increase to crit chance and the fix for feline auto attack skills will bring forward another main pet for Druid. Next we have Revenant, and like Guardian with an unexpected buff to Hammer and Invocation trait line. Herald gets a small buff too, maybe it will turn into a full DPS spec, who knows. And speaking about full DPS specs, Vindicator gets Greatsword buffs as it was somewhat lost in the DPS meta. Thief gets some changes too, for which I don't know how big the impact will be. What ArenaNet is trying to do is make the Thief not rely on allies to bring its highest damage to the table. So it received some nerfs to Venoms, but it got other buffs in return. The buffs affect daggers in both main and offhand, pistol in offhand, sword, and staff for Daredevil. And Deadeye was buffed as well. And finally Warrior. I was expecting Warrior to get some big buffs on Hammer too, as Rev and Guardian did, but only 2 skills got buffed, which is not enough in my opinion to be viable. Don't worry, it received buffs for other weapons like Greatsword, Longbow, Sword in main and offhand, and Rifle. Berserker received some buffs to both Condi and power builds, and finally Spellbreaker received the long-awaited buffs to its power build. We will have to see if this will be enough to bring it back into the meta. Overall, this small balance patch has a lot of improvements and I'm really looking forward to it, especially the ranger changes since I started playing my ranger more, but other changes look very good too. Also I think Mirage needs to be adjusted a bit more, but let me know what you think and if you are looking forward to the patch too in the comment section below. If you want to see more content like this, please let me know in the comment section below. And if you enjoyed the video, please click the like and subscribe buttons.